is 100.7 WMMS.
Cleveland.
What feels great to do is absolutely free, can be done by yourself, and yet no one ever mentions it.
It's the Alan Cox Show
On the Buzzard.
WMMS.
Boy, AI can't do this. AI can't do what Jimmy Bo Horn did back in the 70s. Hey, anyway, 35192 to text me if you're watching live today at AlanCoxShow.com. Tip of the cap one more time to Flinty Pelchmore, who's assisting. Mary in the studio with us today, but out tomorrow as she's performing up in the Mitten.
Davison Comedy Festival.
Davison. Outside
Davison,
Flint, Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tomorrow night.
Don't drink the water.
I will not.
Yeah, okay.
Bring bottled water.
The Comedy Festival.
Uh-huh.
Are you the headliner? Are you
Yes.
the most prominent person on this thing?
Yes. It's
Is
their
it-
first year.
Otherwise, regional comics?
Yes.
So this is the inaugural Davison.
This is my understanding.
Yeah,
This
Comedy
is like
Festival.
a one-day thing.
1 day. How many stages?
I don't know.
8?
Probably 15, 16.
15 stages. You see, they go, boy, we really overshot how many people were going to come to this thing.
Well, 15 stages, 11 of them are karaoke.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bill, you should try to get out there for the karaoke stage.
I like the karaoke here.
Mm.
And I don't have to go to Davis.
Well, it's pretty good
I can
here,
drink
too.
the water.
Yeah.
That's true. It's a big deal.
Alan, it is so obvious what monkeys are kept for soup and which ones are kept for pets. The ones that are docile and friendly are kept for pets, and the ones that are less agreeable obviously go in the soup. Also, why are you off on Monday now, whiz bang? Get to work.
Whiz-bang.
Come on.
This guy calls me whiz bang all the time. Well, if you must know, I'm out Monday because there's a mass Monday morning for the second anniversary of my father's death.
You can't do that on Zoom?
Is that okay? Is that okay with you?
You don't even like church.
No, I hate church, but I'm going to go. I'm going to go with my family. So I got to leave my appearance in Portage Lakes on Sunday afternoon and drive home to Chicago so that I can be there for 7 a.m. Mass. I'm like, Mom, you couldn't get a noon or something?
She probably wanted it that
She's
early.
like, hi, honey. No, because initially she told me it was a 10 a.m. Mass, and I was like, okay, that's cool. I would have just gotten up early and driven.
Why not fly, dude? It's 1 hour.
I don't mind the drive.
Yeah.
Because then I got to take the L into the city, and I
Or
don't
an
want to do
Uber.
that.
You're
Yeah.
a
Can't your
millionaire.
family
Take an
pick you
Uber.
up? Your family wouldn't pick you up?
I guess they would, but I mean, it's that early? I'm not going to have somebody come pick me up at
Take an Uber.
whatever. I don't mind the drive.
Or I'm even saying Sunday. Well, maybe there wouldn't be a flight out Sunday night.
I don't mind the drive. It's fine. But yeah, so that's why I'm out Monday.
His dad is dead.
Sir,
Idiot.
is that okay?
Did you see? I posted on my Instagram. Some lady left a comment about me stealing my dad's GoFundMe money at 5 o'clock this morning.
Where did that come from?
Nowhere.
What was the post about?
My upcoming shows.
Uh-huh.
I shared like all the pictures of like Zany Chicago. Here's your ticket links. Here's this. And this lady commented this Kim going off at 5:07 a.m. talking just wild.
But all you could see was cellulite hanging in pubic hair.
Hell yeah.
That was a complaint about Mary's foot pics.
Yes.
I'm telling my friends at home to go see it at Zany's.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. My first time there.
Yep. So out of the blue,
Yeah, she says it literally on a picture of me promoting shows, Mary said the other day her father's plot was paid for. My question is, where did the over $20,000 from the GoFundMe end up? She scammed.
Wait, so how does she? So she's been sitting on this
For 4 years.
So how? Because otherwise, how would she have known how much money was in the GoFundMe?
You
And
could
she-
see the GoFundMe.
Yeah, but then also she said when we were talking about burials the other day, so she's a regular listener.
Okay.
She scammed listeners with her sad story, in quotes, stories in quotations. Seems she goes on a lot of vacations with her family. Spent so much money at a restaurant in New York with Brian. People like her make it hard for people who actually need help through GoFundMe.
Does she think? I don't know what she thinks. Does she think that like you don't ever have other money coming in?
Well,
Like,
that's why I said, you're right. I've been living off of 20 grand for
Oh, you
4
respond-
years.
did you respond
yes,
to her,
I was
did
like,
you?
you nailed it, Kim. My gambling addict father actually left us each tons of money.
Right.
But I'm too greedy. So I scammed listeners for 20 grand that I've now been vacationing off of for 4 years.
It's so weird. Why now?
And why on that post? I've posted about missing my dad or Father's Day or this or that. I'm like, hey, come see me in Chicago. She's like, where's that money from 4 years ago?
Oh God.
5:07 a.m.
Like she really cares anyway.
Just wild.
Let's say that it was in fact determined that there had been some financial malfeasance on your part,
A
right?
misappropriation.
A misappropriation of funds. Right. Then what? What is she going to do?
To out me as the criminal that I
Out
am.
me as the criminal. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there who hate criminals. Yeah,
I could run for president.
that's right. All the law and order types, boy. Flying that flag.
Yeah. Very mad. Very early. Or maybe late. Maybe she was up and drunk or something. I have no idea. But
Yeah.
I saw it in the TSA line at 5 o'clock this morning. Like, Kim, go to bed. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. What are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
Come on.
Hey, she can't.
Maybe she had to get up for work, and this is the first thing that she wanted to do. Like, this is how she starts her day. She's like, all right, I have to get to work, but first, I need to accuse Mary of fraud.
That pumps her up more than a cup of coffee, that
She's
one, man.
killing it.
Anger never sleeps.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me you're going for a 2-year anniversary to a mass at a Catholic church that you don't even believe in God, which I don't either. So what's next? Mary's going to go to McDonald's for her dad for the anniversary of his death? Unreal.
I don't get it.
I believe in McDonald's.
Yeah.
I'm like
McDonald's is real.
on record as being one of McDonald's biggest
Yeah.
supporters.
And by the way, dummy, this is to honor my dad and be with my family.
Yeah.
It's not everything's about us, right? Not everything's about you. Not everything's about me. It's not about me. It's about going to honor my father and his memory. It doesn't matter that I don't go to church.
Honestly,
No,
it's
I'm
more
actually
for
kind of
your
with this
mom.
guy, Alan, because I really want the day off to go swimming in my pool. And it's going to be like 62 on Monday. So could you do it on Wednesday when it's going to be, or Thursday when it's 80?
Yeah, could you do?
Trust
can
me,
you switch it?
I said to my entire family, I said, I can't believe you guys can't accommodate me and have this in a park.
Right.
And
Can we just call it like we did, a celebration of life? Does it have to be this whole big Jesus
you don't
thing?
even believe in God. You're right, I don't, but I believe in my family, and my dad was real, by the way.
Well, and that
It's got nothing to do with me.
it's more for your mom too.
Of
Your mom
course it is.
religious. Your mom is still alive. That's something she wants you to do.
My mother is still a practicing Catholic.
Yeah.
That's right. And so, of course,
You think
only
Monday-
time I ever go to church is when I'm at home. And like if Gwen and Nora are with me, we don't get up and go to church.
Right.
But this is just me. I'm going home and I'll go to mass with my mom and my siblings will all be there. Say what?
Do you think this is the day she's going to introduce you to the new guy?
Shut up, Bill. What?
It's
He
the-
goes,
It's the priest.
I figured, yeah.
But
It's like in
illegal.
Sopranos. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
He's not supposed
Oh,
to be
God, The
dating anybody.
Sopranos. That guy showed up, that actor showed up in a show on Apple TV I was watching called Sugar with Colin Farrell. And I was going, how do I know that guy? Why does that actor look so familiar? And I had to like Google the dude. And he was 25 years ago, he was the priest on The Sopranos. It's like, that's why. You know, you'll see an actor, but you remember them from another role, and so you instantly don't like them for some reason. I go, how do I know?
Why do I hate him?
Right. I started watching Clipped last night, the Donald Sterling thing over there on FX, and there's an actor in that. I go, oh, I like that guy, but he had hair, and this other show, I'm like, but he didn't look like that. Who is that guy? He's on this great show, Billions, that we used to watch. It's done now, but he was one of the traders on Billions.
I was watching The Aviator last night with my girlfriend, and
With DiCaprio?
yeah,
I've never seen that.
it's
That's about Howard Hughes?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good if you're trying to fall asleep.
I watched.
Well, that's a
But-
Scorsese.
but
It's like
it's
3
Scorsese.
hours long
It's
or
a
something.
long one. It's interesting. He had a crazy life.
Yeah.
But Danny Houston's in that, and he's one of those guys I always forget is like an actor.
He's
But in
great.
it. He's great, but I'm like, who? And it was kind of that same thing. I'm like, who the hell
Why do I
is that
hate him?
guy?
Yeah.
Why is he? And he was Stryker in X-Men Origins,
Yup.
Wolverine.
30
He
Days
was-
a Night.
Yeah.
He's the main vampire.
He's the main vampire. But he was also on this show that I watched.
Boardwalk Empire.
No, but it was about like Miami in the 50s.
Oh, it was with the
Oh,
Bobby
Dexter.
Cannavale
That
one,
was
right?
Dexter.
No, it was because he's in the Crow reboot too. No, that was called.
Chips.
Oh, it was oh God, what was that called? Chips.
But it was
Sesame Street.
it was
No.
I watched
Magic City.
Yeah, Magic City. I watched the first season of that. I thought, and he was great in that show. But I can never remember his name.
Danny Houston. Yeah,
But he's also a guy that he's perfect for any role that takes place in the 60s or like earlier because he just looks like an old timey guy.
And he kind of has like this reptilian look to him
Yeah.
too, so he's a good bad guy.
Yeah.
But he's Hollywood royalty. He's from
Yeah.
the Houston family, like Tony Houston and Angelica and John Houston and
I had this happen watching the movie Luther with Idris Elba.
yeah.
And
The movie or the show?
the movie
Yeah.
on Netflix the other day, like over the last week, and I'm watching it, and the bad guy in that, I was like, man, again, that same feeling. I don't like this guy. I think he's kind of skeezy, and it's because it was the second time I had watched Luther, and I didn't realize.
Oh, really?
Yes, I did not realize, because that movie's like 2.5 hours long, and I was like an hour and 10 minutes in before I was like, I've seen this, and I was like, that's why I don't like him, because I've seen him in this exact role.
I loved.
before.
I loved Danny Houston's in the Naked Gun reboot too with Liam
Is he?
Neeson.
Okay.
I loved the Luther show, but that movie,
It's long. And
I didn't
there's
even
a
finish
lot
it. I
going
don't.
on.
I have no idea why. I'm watching. I go, man, this is just not hitting right.
And it's like it's not very good. The action is not very good.
Yeah.
Idris Elba is a very fit guy, and he was like, maybe he's not that fit, but he's like running slow and like wasn't really throwing punches. And I was like, maybe because it's British that it can't be that violent.
Oh, I don't know.
Nobody had guns.
Well, that. I mean,
Well, and then like also there were little inconsistent. Like he went to go talk. He's in prison. And he goes to talk to someone visiting him. Nobody walked him out in shackles. They just opened the door and let him in. But then he still walked around and sat on the other side of the glass.
Yeah.
Like, it was very strange. But yeah, I was halfway through that movie before I remembered, oh, I've seen this. And that's why I don't like this
I
guy.
think there's shows like that. Luther is one. We used to watch a show called Ray Donovan with Liev Schreiber. There's on Showtime for many years. And there's sometimes some of these shows that will just end. They're just not going to make the show anymore. But they have so many fans that flip out that they go, okay, we'll make a movie and wrap everything up. But they don't really know how to make the movie. And that's how I felt about Luther. I've still never finished that movie because I was like, man, I'm not liking this.
Want me to spoil it?
No.
Okay.
Does he ride his motorcycle straight into a semi?
Yes. Except he's black now because it's
I
Idris
see.
Elba and not Jax Teller.
I see. Hey, speaking of mass.
This Week in Jesus.
I don't know why this is just coming out now, but I love the story. An American priest in England. So this guy's running from some stuff, right? A Catholic priest who is from the United States, Father Thomas McHale. Young guy, he's 53. And he is one of the priests at Our Blessed Lady Immaculate in Black Hill, Consett County, Durham. And everybody flipped out because, for whatever reason, in his sermon, he mentioned that Jesus would have died with an erection.
Oh, Well, yeah.
Because in a crucifixion, all of your blood would rush
Down.
south.
Yeah.
Why he thought to point that out. Now, the photo of him again, this is a guy who's running from something in the States, right? They had no more American parishes that they could hide him in, so they shuttled him off to the UK. But I guess he's going to get to keep his job. He's not going to be defrocked, which I think is the term. But for whatever reason, imagine you're giving an Easter sermon.
Oh, even though.
And you go,
Okay, kids, go find me.
God would have had a boner, probably, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. So he's going to get to remain a priest because they probably don't have that many in Black Hill, Consett County, Durham. But, yeah, he told them that's what was going to happen. If Jesus, on the thing, that he probably had a boner.
Did he tie that into a scripture?
I don't know if he elaborated. I don't know in what way he elaborated.
I mean, they always said he was hung on the cross.
BillSquire.com
No.
for dates.
Madison! Shut up, Mary.
I liked it.
That was pretty
Sue me. I liked it.
Good one.
But they usually have it hidden under a little cloth. I've never seen a cross where he's naked.
Under a cloth. But the next time, before we completely dismiss this guy out of hand, the next time you see a crucifix,
He should be pitching a tent.
let's see if he's pitching a tent.
Yeah,
A little revival
little
tent.
chub there.
A little
Yeah.
fluffed up there.
Oh, is that why they call it a tent revival?
Yes, because Jesus was pitching a tent.
Yeah.
According to this guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
saying.
had never once considered, even Willem Dafoe, in The Last Temptation of Jesu Christo, I had never once considered God's boner.
Are you dying for my sins, or are you just happy to see me?
Hey. That's how he moved that rock out of the way. of the king. How did he get out? Well,
Yep.
I tell you,
Uh-huh.
rock hard. Oh,
Yeah,
ew.
so it's been-
I'm 30 seconds behind on the live stream. That guy's picture just popped up.
That's a guy,
Yeah.
right? He's got the eyelashes. He's got,
creepy.
something's going on there. But, yeah, they're going to, oh, this says he has been defrocked. Oh, so they've downgraded him to a lay advisor. Yeah, all right. Anyway, so, yeah. It's been a rough 12 months for the church. You know, they had that AI priest.
Just this 12 months?
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, I guess the last 4,000 months have been tough for them.
The only thing that they're really proud of is when the Pope used the racial or the
Yeah.
gay slur.
slur,
He
yeah.
used the Italian word for gay people or whatever.
Did you see there was that, just real quick as an aside, there was a really viral TikTok of this Italian lady and was like the Pope's PR team right now. And she was like, he said, what? Oh my God. She goes, just tell him he's a little gay. Like that. She's like, the dress, the hat, he's a little gay. Just tell everybody, just a little bit, just a little gay.
Yeah, a guy in a dress
Yeah.
and a giant hat is making fun of
It's
it.
okay. He can say it. It's okay.
Yeah, I like the notion of the Pope's PR team.
Yeah.
You say the what?
Yeah, it's a very funny video.
Well, I don't know about that. Yeah, so the AI priest that they had earlier in the year, it was telling people to baptize babies in Gatorade, and it was giving advice to one woman on how to prepare for marriage to her brother. That kind of stuff. They had a little avatar with a beard, because I guess they thought that would look like a cool priest. I mean, if you really want a cool priest, right? He's got to have a puka shell necklace and cargo shorts and the whole bit.
Poochie is a priest.
Poochie.
Frosted tips underneath that hat.
Uh-huh.
What's the Pope hat called?
A mitre.
Mitre.
M-I-T-E-R. A mitre is that big pointy hat.
I'm just remembering this. Maybe I've talked about this before. In 7th grade, I got detention because a girlfriend of mine and I were we were making a comic. We were making a comic book called Pope Man, where
Yeah.
the Pope was like fighting crime and his hat would shoot out lasers out of the cross of the hat.
Yeah.
And we got detention for that. Like, we probably got detention for not paying attention and passing notes during
Yeah.
class. But
That's the note you were passing.
that was what we were doing, is we were each like adding a square. We were like making a comic book throughout the
Yeah.
class where she would draw a square and then I would draw a square of like what happened next. And it was like the
What if
Pope
you found
killing
out-
the
people.
frames that you
he
guys
was
were-
like
yeah.
he could fly, so he was like
Yeah.
the flying Pope, and he could. Man, I would. I wish
What
I
if
could
all
find
like
that.
years later you found out that that teacher like confiscated that and then sold it and like
it's like
it was
a
like
cartoon somewhere.
your intellectual property has been stolen by your teacher.
Somebody
Yeah.
took Pope Man from me. Well, there was a live action show in the mid-90s called Bible Man. Anybody remember Bible Man? It was on TV. It might be probably streaming somewhere. But Bible Man would go out and fight villains like every episode, it would be him fighting a villain who represented something you shouldn't be doing, right?
Yeah.
So like the guy who lied, the villain was the fibbler.
Oh.
Why it wasn't the fibber, I
Fiddler on
don't
the
know.
Roof.
Fibbler, yeah. Or the gossip queen, right? Because you're not supposed to,
No on the live stream asked me if I go back to church for certain events. I've only been back one time for my grandpa's funeral.
Do they look at you weird?
And nobody
Or they're like,
cares.
he's not allowed to be here.
No, because it's not like you're not allowed to be there. If anything, they're like trying to bring you back
Yeah.
because they're
Good to see-
hemorrhaging
they do
your
the
fresh
thing where they,
meat.
like, they hold your shoulder and they're like, it's
yeah.
really good to see you.
But
here."
they also
Yeah.
don't. They don't like at funerals and stuff. They don't do a mass
Yeah.
or anything like that.
Just
It's
a service.
It's just a regular
Yeah.
service. So that's the only time I went back one time for that, and then everything else. Like if my dad dies and my mom's like, "Will you go to church with me?" I'd be like, "No, but you can go to anything else with me. Like you want to go to brunch and get drunk."
You
Like,
really
let's do
wouldn't?
that.
You wouldn't go to church if your dad died?
No. Not to,
Really?
like, church. I go to the funeral, but I wouldn't go to church.
If your mom was like, "Hey, like Alan's scenario, this is an anniversary of your dad's death. You
this is
gotta
a this
come
is
to
a
this
ma-
mass."
this is a mass for my dad.
That's
this
like
is-
not a
it's
thing
a
that they
church.
do. Like
They don't do masses in honor of a person who's passed.
no.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I mean,
it's not.
that didn't sound like a weird Catholic only thing to me.
I went.
The cracker on
But
the
no,
tongue.
I wouldn't
yeah,
go because
but
it's like what?
Well, for your mom, it's not about you. Like Alan said, it's not about you. She wants you there. She said, "Bill, it'd mean a lot to me if you went to this."
I'd be like, well, what? I'll go to after church. You want to go
You
get
go to
breakfast?
fellowship?
Yeah, you want to go to breakfast afterwards? I'll take you a breakfast,
Let's
but
have
you
a
know,
Danish.
I don't want to be here for this
Your mother
claptrap,
sits here with his
as
cat.
Alan would usually
Would
say.
you like to leave a message? I see that she gets it.
If that's true, then you must know my mother's maiden name. What is it?
And now the same question for you, Mary. Would
Yeah.
you go to church?
Oh yeah, I'm not against church at all. I don't really like the people. I've never minded a sermon. I usually feel better after I leave a church service. You know
Does
what
it
I mean?
need to be on a mount?
What does that mean?
Your
Like
sermon.
on a mountain?
Does your sermon need to be on a mount?
Like a mounted horse
Obviously,
cop?
you're not really paying attention to this.
Yeah, as in the sermon on the mount.
No.
Oh, okay. Does it have to be? Do you mean does it have to be on a mountain? Is that what you mean?
This is like the cops that have the horses.
Yeah, that's right. The sermon on the mounted.
No, I don't care. I'll go to church.
It
Someone
doesn't
was
have
like,
to be location specific.
even if my friend like reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I kind of want to go back to church, but I don't want to go by myself." I'd be like, "Yeah, I'll go to church with you."
What
Somebody
about
call her bluff?
I'm not getting that. Doesn't bother me. Church. doesn't
what
bother me.
about street preachers?
They are loud.
But they're just yelling scripture.
They're yelling. Well, I guess they're yelling in church too. But it's also okay. Here's my thing. They're doing it in a place where people don't want it. If I'm going to church, that means, hey, I would like
Gotcha.
to hear what you have to say.
And
That's why I don't
appropriate-
want to go to church because I don't want to hear what they have to
Right.
say. Because
Or at least I'm
it
open to
doesn't-
hearing what you have to
it
say.
doesn't make me feel better. The most depressed I've ever been was because of church.
Right. Now, was it because of church
Yes.
or church people?
Church and church people,
Not
kind
the
of all
teaching?
the same way.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
the
I don't mind the teachings.
some of them are good.
Some of them are great.
Some of them are good, and I was able to extrapolate those few good things, and then everything else I was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks a lot.
I only adhere to the teaches of peaches.
Everyone
For
that
you.
practices sodomy from the day of this message will get cancer in the butthole. It'll burn and burn and burn.
That's kind of preaching I like. All right, I got to take a break here. You want to get the last word in? Send me a text 35192.
It's the Alan Cox Show. Everywhere.